Governor John Kasich comes to Cincinnati tomorrow to talk about changes he wants in paying for social services in the state of Ohio. This on top of proposals on changing school funding.
Now, some districts would see less state aid, but others would see more. But the area's wealthiest school district would actually see an increase, and that has some people wondering how that could possibly happen. Local 12 News reporter Jeff Hirsch joins us now live from the newsroom with the answer to that. Hi, Jeff.
Well, good evening. When I was a kid, figuring maybe one day I'd like to be a reporter, I remember watching a CBS News legend named Eric Sevareid. And I recall to this very day, remembering him saying there are only two people in the world who understand international finance, and they disagree. Well, school funding is pretty much the same.
What are some of the things we've been looking at?
Indian Hill is traditionally one of the top academic districts in Ohio. It is also the wealthiest, based on personal income and home values. The average price listing for a home for sale in Indian Hill recently is 5 times the amount of a house in the city of Cincinnati. Governor John Kasich wants to change the school funding formula in Ohio so districts with a lot of low-income students like Cincinnati would get more state money and districts with wealthier families would get less. For example, Lakota would lose almost $6 million state dollars over the next 2 years, nearly 12% of the district's budget. But wealthier Indian Hill would see an increase. How is that possible?
Each school district has a unique set of variables that impacts the formula calculation.
The state of Ohio provides at least 5% of every school district's budget, or it's supposed to. But last year, Indian Hill received less. So the governor's new calculation just brings the district back to where it's supposed to be.
Well, I would say it is easy to misinterpret the information because as you examine the percentage increase over the next 2 years, it is about 21%. But as you look at the raw dollar values, it's about $100,000 per year, a very small percentage of our annual budget.
School leaders here are not asking people to feel sorry for Indian Hill. It is a wealthy community. But Indian Hill taxpayers pay more to the state than they get back for their schools, and they do not want to be shortchanged.
They expect us to provide exceptional educational services, and those services don't come for free. So we do expect our fair share of state revenue each year.
Now, some districts get a lot more of their budgets from the state than Indian Hill does. The 21% for Indian Hill over 2 years is about $200,000 total state dollars, but another hill, North College Hill, would get the same 21% hike, but that translates to $1.9 million for them because it's 21% of a much higher amount of state assistance. I told you it was complicated. Back to you. I spent all morning trying to figure this out.
Yeah, it is complicated. Yeah. I hope there won't be a test because I would not like that and I would not do well, Jeff. Thank you.
I would get an A. Well, A
I'm sure. Thank you. The governor's funding plan, by the way, is just a proposal. We will let you know how it turns out because districts like Lakota and Mason, which would see state funding reduced, are already lining up in opposition.